Today's episode is brought to you by Paper Potco. Make farming easier with Paper Potco's time and labor-saving tools. From planting equipment to ultra-durable nursery trays, check out what we have to offer at paperpot.co.
Well, if they don't have any experience yet, I highly recommend that aspiring farmers get experience on other people's farms. Like, I really, really treasure my years apprenticing, and for many of those years, I wasn't making any money, and I chose farms based on what they could teach me rather than, what kind of pay I was going to be getting or what kind of housing I was going to have. I really wanted, I was really kind of devoted to my journey of education, and I highly recommend that to other farmers. In fact, I kind of think that some of the living conditions and the fact that many times I was getting little to no pay kind of benefited our startup, because we, were a little bit more used to living simply, and we were a little bit more, accustomed to being frugal. And so I think that it's really important to find who you want to learn from, and, whatever the barriers, just try to apprentice with them. I apprenticed on a farm in the States who hadn't hired Canadians before. I wasn't going with a working visa, so technically I wasn't allowed to get paid. And, I told them money is not an issue for me. I really want to learn what you have to offer. And so for me, I really didn't mind what kinds of living conditions or what kind of payment I might receive in exchange for my work. And I know that some aspiring farmers don't always, sometimes have a lot of issues with apprenticing. Sometimes they feel like free labor. But I think that, a lot of time, one of my best experiences actually on a farm was this one farm I worked at where for about 2.5 weeks at the very beginning, all day long, the other apprentices and I were just basically hoeing this one field. And it was a big field. We were just hoeing it all day long. And I think that taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about being able to, work on the same task throughout the whole day. And it also taught me muscle memory, which I think is a huge part about learning how to be a farmer. And so I really valued that experience of just hoeing all day long. One of the other benefits that we got from working for other farmers and also visiting other farms was to realize that, we're farming for a set of values, and to think about what those values are and to really create a farm around that. And so, one of the largest causes of farm failure is divorce or farm partnership breakup. And another big cause is burnout. And so from the very beginning, we've been really intentional of trying to, make time for ourselves, as a couple, and also to make time to really enjoy this farm that we've created instead of, we don't have any hobbies, I'm going to say, but we do take time to enjoy the farm that we created. And so even though, our thoughts are always on this farm and what we're going to be doing, and we don't leave the farm that often, we still work really hard to be intentional about taking time to not be working and to be able to enjoy what we've created. And I think that that's important. I have a friend who did his master's research on barriers to entry for farmers or for new farmers, and he found that basically a lot of the reasons were very personal, like what you're saying. Like, sometimes we say things like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the experience, I'm worried that I won't be able to live in a rural community, I'm worried I'll be isolated, I'm worried that my friends or my family won't approve of what I'm doing. There's tons and tons of reasons that you can come up with for not doing this. And if those reasons are a strong enough barrier, then you probably won't. But if you if you feel like you can overcome those, then I think that you should go for it. I think that it feels really good to do what you wanted to do and to be able to, create the dream that you had in your head. And I think that more people regret things that they didn't do than the things that they did do.